Dudazile, good afternoon to you. Certainly a startling and dramatic day here at the North Gauteng High Court. So day 45 of the trial, and we've ended day 2 of sentencing procedures. And as you rightly say, all about the money today. So let's bring Karen Morn into the conversation. How did all of this play out?
Well, you know, quite a startling day in court. We had a probation officer hired by the defense, Annette Verheer, giving testimony about Oscar Pistorius' suitability for correctional supervision, which was essentially ground already covered by the probation officer that testified from correctional services. Interestingly enough, though, Jeremy, she revealed in her report that Oscar Pistorius had been paying a monthly amount to Reeva Steenkamp's parents and had been financially contributing to them. Perry Nell then picks up this issue and points out to her that she did state in her report that Oscar Pistorius in fact sold his car for 375,000 rand, offered that money to the Steenkamp family, and the Jude Steenkamp refused it on the basis of calling it blood money. Just in the last few moments, the family advocate for Reeva Steenkamp's family then also made a public statement to the media, an unprecedented public statement, in which he revealed that they had actually been receiving a monthly amount of 6,000 rand a month for the last 18 months, so just over 100,000 rand, but fully intended to pay that back to Oscar Pistorius, and this is the kicker, Jeremy, have no intention of launching a civil suit against him. So that civil suit, which was a great deal of speculation around that issue, is now completely off the table.
All right, Karen, so as a sidebar, that's very interesting, but what impact is this going to have on the judge's decision around the sentencing?
Well, you know, there's a line of thinking that I think the defense will argue that this is illustrative of the fact that Oscar Pistorius took responsibility for what he did and really in his own way attempted to assist the family of Reeva Steenkamp. Of course, the state, you know, in emphasizing the blood money issue, is going to say ultimately that that family was forced to take that money because they were in financially very dire situations, and that it's in no way reflective of any kind of acceptance from their part towards Oscar Pistorius. Interestingly enough, Verheer also saying that the Steenkamp's family stance towards Oscar was neutral. Now, given the kind of public statements that they've made through the media, particularly overseas, that does seem like somewhat of a surprising stance.
Do we know if that money is still being paid?
We understand that it was paid for 18 months. We're now looking at about 20 months after the shooting of Reeva Steenkamp, so it appears to have stopped. Verheer also saying that Oscar Pistorius is for all intents and purposes broke, that he simply doesn't have money available to him. And we now know that Reeva Steenkamp's family, for whatever reasons, do not feel that they're in so financially dire a situation that they need to continue accepting the money.
When Verheer was making this disclosure in court today about the money, how was Steenkamp's family reacting?
You could see there was a great deal of distress. We know that, you know, they don't accept, you know, according to what they've said in the media, that this was the accidental killing of their daughter. We know that the state intends leaving evidence that Barry Steenkamp suffered a stroke as a result of his daughter's death, and that June Steenkamp, according to Kerry Nell, lies on the floor crying because of the enormity of the loss of her daughter. So clearly, in terms of the court of public opinion, I don't think they would really want to have been associated with receiving what June has now described as blood money from Oscar Pistorius.
All right, so Dudazile, the money was one aspect that emerged here in court today. The other aspect, and we'll get to that in our next crossing just after 4:30 this afternoon, is South Africa's correctional services on trial. For the moment, from Karen and myself here in Pretoria, back to you in Johannesburg.